Rhea Ripley is the current WWE Women's World Champion, currently wrestling on Monday Night Raw, but her title reign has been underwhelming, to say the least. I can pretty much equate it to what Austin Theory's title reign with the US Championship was on SmackDown over the past few months. Obviously, Rey Mysterio is now the United States Champion. We'll get more into that on Friday, right before SmackDown. But for now, Rhea Ripley on Monday Night Raw is not given her due. Because even though she is the most vocal member of the Judgment Day, she pretty much sets them all in line. Character-wise, she is at her peak. She is at the top of her game. When she walks onto TV, onto the camera angle, when you see her on TV, when she's in the ring, she commands. Her presence, her character, everything about her, rightfully so, she's the Women's World Champion, demands that you pay attention to her. The problem is, once again, WWE's creative. They haven't been given her the correct opponents, the right frames to place her in these matches. If I'm not mistaken, ever since she became Women's World Champion at WrestleMania by beating Charlotte Flair in what was arguably the match of the night, or at least in the discussion of match of the night for that WrestleMania. I believe it was Saturday. Everybody remembers that match. Here's the thing, nobody remembers anything that's transpired from her with that world title other than maybe squashing Natalya and then Natalya beating her up. Anything else, it's just been underwhelming. She's beat the hell out of Raquel Rodriguez. She's beat the hell out of Liv Morgan. She dominantly beat Indy Hartwell last night on Monday Night Raw. So when she's presented on TV in terms of matches, the Nightmare herself, Rhea Ripley, she delivers as she should. She is the Women's World Champion. But there has not been a defining feud, a rivalry, a match since she's been Women's World Champion, and we're 4 months into her championship reign. And even though they've kind of set themselves up for great things to come on SmackDown with Io Sky cashing in her Money in the Bank briefcase and becoming the new women's champion over there, Raw is severely lacking in options for Miss Rhea Ripley. Especially since WWE decided to take Trish Stratus versus Becky Lynch off the SummerSlam card, and now they're choosing to extend this feud, this rivalry that was once the most interesting part of Monday Night Raw. They've extended it to the point of laughable. It's not entertaining as much as it used to be, as it was a month ago. And then the big blow-off should have been at SummerSlam. But now, next week, we're getting a steel cage match between Trish Stratus and Becky Lynch. Hopefully that leads to the end of that feud. And hopefully Becky Lynch, the man, is able to position herself to challenge for the Women's World title on Monday Night Raw. Finally have a high-profile feud. Finally have a female superstar who can actually pose as a threat to Rhea Ripley. But for now, Rhea Ripley is pretty much demoted to being an accessory, a side piece, the leader of the Judgment Day, but she can't wrestle Cody Rhodes. She can't wrestle Sami Zayn or Kevin Owens. All these feuds that they're having within the Judgment Day are all for the men. The Women's World Champion, Rhea Ripley, she has nowhere to go at this point. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is an issue when it comes to Monday Night Raw's women's division, as far as their creative goes. Furthermore, they haven't even built up anyone. There is not a single babyface on the women's roster on Monday Night Raw. And I'm excluding Becky Lynch out of this because she's already been established as a big babyface. But other than her, everyone else has not been getting wins. They have not been having matches. They have not been built up to the point that at one point, very soon, they could pose a legitimate threat, or at least an impending threat, to Rhea Ripley's world title reign. That's an issue as well. It's a very big issue. And it doesn't seem like they're about to solve it. Doesn't seem like they're about to fix it. So at this point, I'm just waiting for Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus to finish their business, hopefully very soon, and then Becky transitions over to Rhea Ripley and finally give the Nightmare and the Man and the Women's World Championship their due. Something to really sink their teeth into and make the women's division on Monday Night Raw interesting once again. And again, I'm going back to creative as far as her character development, how she portrays herself on TV, the matches she's had, everything that Rhea Ripley has been able to present on TV ever since she became Women's World Champion at WrestleMania. Perfect. Hasn't missed a beat. Creative. Storylines. Anything. All feuds, rivalries. That's been where they have really been unfair with Rhea Ripley in terms of her position on the Red brand as the top female on that roster. Rhea Ripley, Women's World Champion. But anyway, those are my thoughts on Rhea Ripley's current title reign. Again, it's hard for me to equate it to Austin Theory's United States Championship reign over on SmackDown. But again, the U.S. title hasn't really had championship matches on pay-per-view, and neither has the Women's World Championship. So, with that said, what are your thoughts on Rhea Ripley's current title reign? Do you think that she should be entering into a feud or a rivalry with Raquel, Liv, or Becky Lynch, or somebody else maybe? Leave your thoughts, comments, and predictions in the comment section below. In the meantime, tune in later on tonight to the USA Network for another episode of NXT. Dominic Mysterio, North American Champion, is going to be there, of course. And of course, wherever Dirty Dom goes, Mommy has to follow. Rhea Ripley, Women's World Champion, will be on NXT as well, which, by the way, she's been having killer matches on NXT as well, so we'll just have to wait and see what transpires there tonight on WWE's developmental brand. So with that said, I'm Alexis Carrillo, this has been Wrestling Talk, and I'll see you next time.